Hello, troopers, and welcome to the 501st Com Chatter. I am Chloe.
I'm Will. How are we doing, guys? Hope you're having a good week. We've got an interesting episode today. We will admit we were having a little struggle of what to think, and we decided let's go for Star Wars games again. But we're going to go back to creatures. So we did like creatures from Outlaws. So this week
we did miss one though, which we've included in today's episode.
Yes. But yes, so we are doing today's episode on creatures from Star Wars games, but it's basically Fallen Order and Survivor. So we hope you're going to find this really interesting. There is too many to go through in total. I mean, I can read the names off from all the different planets. Yes. I can do that, but
we could always do another episode with the rest of
with more, yeah. But we've tried picking some that we would consider sort of more interesting to you guys, because we could do something like a scaz, which is basically like a little rat, And we thought, no, let's get creative and let's do some of the cooler looking ones, and the ones that I'd be like, oh, that's a cool one. I mean, I don't know if I need to, but possible spoiler ahead in case you haven't played the games, and you don't want to know what creatures you come across. If that is the case, you might want to go play the games and then come back to this episode. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good one.
We also have a little bit of news this week as well.
Yes, so there is a leak and some rumours that we're going to talk about, but we also have some personal additions to our collection. Chloe will be doing the very nicely cool photo ops in the next couple of days
on our Instagram.
So definitely go check them out, because when she does them, they're really cool. Like, they're very good. But we have 3 new ones. One I am very excited about, so I think should I leave that one to last?
Okay.
Because I think that's quite a cool one to last. Yeah. Okay. So we did mention this one, I think, on the last episode, and it has finally arrived. So we have the 332nd Trooper from now. The box that this one comes in is the Ahsoka box. It's from the flashback in episode 5. So when Ahsoka's having the Clone Wars flashback on Mandalore, it's from that one. That's why the box is the Ahsoka box. It is very good. I will admit, this Funko is very detailed. You pointed out like a lot of details on it compared to.
Should I show them the other one?
Yeah, why not?
And so we'll go through all the differences.
So Chloe noticed a load of differences within this one compared to the 501st original.
Because from afar, they look like they're in the same sort of pose, but up close, if you're looking at like the Star Wars logo, this one is a little bit more turned, and he's got like a brown bit on the bottom of his shoes, and also the blaster is a lot bigger, and it has these little like silver details.
It's a lot more detailed, isn't it?
It's really detailed, and also like I don't know what they're called, these little things at the
like little
bits
on the respiratory bits from the helmet.
So they're like silver in the middle, whereas on the 501st they're just plain black, and the little stripes on the side are black instead of blue.
I believe the Black Series helmet, not Black Series, but like collector helmet for the 332nd has the black lines, I think, on it. I might be wrong.
Because I think in the Clone Wars they're black, but then in like the films and stuff they are blue. So
yes, because the 501st one that we've got there is from the Mandalorian flashback.
So technically these are both live action clones, but they're slightly different.
I think they're very cool.
But yeah, I really like those, and I think they're a fine addition to our collection.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought I'd point out the little sort of differences, so you know that you're not getting the exact same figure
Yes.
Like, just because that's what we thought it'd be the same
I originally
body
thought it
but
was
different head,
Yeah.
but it is completely different. So
Yeah.
you're not getting the same Funko if you buy those.
Yeah, I thought it was the exact same figure, but no.
I think the Ahsoka one is Funko exclusive as well.
I think so. Yes.
You can't get this one in like regular shops. But
I
yeah,
haven't
he's
seen the
very cool.
501st in shops either, but I think
No.
he was making an appearance in the States in like GameStop and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, no, really cool. He goes really well with the 501st one, and he also goes really well with like the Siege of Mandalore Ahsoka Funko. But no, I think they've done a really good job on that one. The detail on it, like you mentioned, the little brown bits around the bottom of the boots, very cool. So yeah,
I'll take some sort of in-depth pictures with them that you can see on our Instagram.
Yeah.
So that you can see all the details up close. But yeah, and also I like to sort of get other Funkos in our collection so you can see like what they'd look like on display if you're looking to get those. Like maybe you have one of those Funkos. So yeah.
Very cool.
I sort of recreate like little scenes with them sometimes.
They're really cool.
So, yeah.
But yeah, no, very cool. A very good Funko, and one I definitely would recommend you getting.
Yeah.
Now this next one is a bit of a favourite of mine. Now I will admit you can't buy this Funko individually. It is part of the gaming collector's box. That's now, I think it's like sold out on Funko Europe. You cannot buy it. And it was like £38. And basically in it, you got 2 figures, a pin, a lanyard, stuff like that. But like, I wasn't interested in that. And it came with another figure. And again, I wasn't really interested in this figure.
You just wanted the one Funko out.
I wanted the one.
So it wasn't really worth the whole, like, nearly £40.
Yeah, but so I've been looking on eBay, and I narrowly last week missed out on one of these people selling them individually, and I was really close.
You lost out in a bidding war, guys.
Yes, but I missed out by like £1.
Yeah,
like, it was something silly.
It was so annoying.
But then the other day there was another one listed, and this guy also did like sent me like an offer and was like, "Oh, do you want it? Like, it's available for this month." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm taking it." So I'm very proud of this one. He's very cool. We have Darth Nihilus. So again, another sort of one for our collection from the Old Republic, the Knights of the Republic series and all that. He is really cool, really detailed. And as soon as I saw him in the like collector's box, I wanted him, but I didn't want Darth Sion, Darth Sion.
I think.
Yeah, so he comes with like Darth Sion. I'm not a big Sion fan, and I was like, yeah, I don't really want it. But I do want Nihilus, and we have finally got him, and he looks really cool, and he's really detailed as well.
Yeah.
And another cool little feature that I like about the Nihilus Funko, it comes in the box of like the old gaming greats Funkos. So you know how like lately we've had the like HK47. It's in like, and it says like Legends on the box. This one was completely different. It was like the grey box, like the one that the Revens come in and Bastilla.
Yeah.
And I think even
end up Bastilla because
maybe
she is really cool. She does go with the Revens.
She does. But yeah, so we've decided. So it comes in that one. I thought that was really cool. And now the last one. I didn't think I was actually going to get this one. So this one has been one that I've been keeping an eye out for a little while. I've just not been able to find listings on eBay and other sites.
And then I found one for a good price.
Yes. So Chloe found one for a good price, and immediately I was like, I can't miss this one. You know, it was a really good price as well.
I mean, it got released quite a few years ago now, so they're quite hard to get hold of.
Yeah, so this one is part of the same Gaming Greats series that came out with Jedi Revan and Darth Revan and all that years ago. So, you know, it is like an older one. But I finally got my hands on it.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a Darth Malik. I mean,
if you guys don't know Darth Malik, he's from the Knights of the Old Republic game.
yes, and also like the history of him to me is also really important because I love Revan and Malik. You know, was basically his apprentice, and Revan is the one why he lost his like jaw and has that metal bit. There's just so much history between them, and it's like you almost want Revan with Malik. You know what I mean? You can't sort of have one without the other. So now I can have Revan and Malik together. So keep an eye out for the photos for that one because that's going to be very cool as well.
Yes. Right after the episode, I will take some photos and I'll get them posted either tonight or tomorrow.
But yes, no, they're very cool. I think some really good additions there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's your favourite out of the new ones?
This is hard. I do really like Darth Nihilus. I think he looks really, really cool. I like his sort of hood and his mask.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally don't know that much about Nihilus, but I do think he is a really cool looking character.
Yeah.
And I do really like the Ahsoka Trooper as well because just the detail on it is so cool. And I did love the Ahsoka flashback. That was so cool. And I really hope, like, in the season 2, they do that again. Like, some kind of flashback, like, memory coming back to Ahsoka. That would be cool. And I do really like Darth Malik as well because, obviously, the whole Knights of the Old Republic, how rare he is. So I'm so glad that we, like, found him.
Yeah.
I can't pick a favourite. I like them all in their own way.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I mean...
I think the one that looks the most, like, badass is Nihilus.
Yeah.
But, you know, as far as characters go, I don't know that much about him, so I can't say he's my favourite.
That's fair enough. I accept that.
So I don't know, but I love them all.
But one thing I will say as well is I really like now how our Sith collection is quite diverse as well. So we have Nihilus, Malik, and Darth Revan from the Old Republic. We have Vader and Palpatine from the Galactic Empire. So I think eventually I might want to look at getting like Darth Maul, getting maybe like a Count Dooku, because then I've got like the prequel Siths. Do you know what I mean?
True, yeah.
So then you've almost got like every era of Sith. Yeah, and I hope as well. You know, I would like to go into it. Maybe we get like a Kylo because we did mention one. Because then it's like you've got Siths from every era, you know, and maybe they do the Stranger from Acolyte.
Well, we have Master Soul, and we really want to get Yord as well.
Yes, we will get Yord at some point, but I think if we could get like the Stranger, then we've got like a High Republic Sith as well. So that'd be very cool.
We want more High Republic bunkers.
Yes, we do.
We need them. We need like a Venestra.
That would be cool.
Or is it Tyoric?
Tyoric, yeah, that would be a very good one.
They could even be the what are they called? The like pirate gang.
The Nihil.
That's the one.
That'd be quite cool.
Yeah.
Could have like Lorna D. But yeah. So that's it for like our new additions.
Yeah.
So just going quickly onto the rumors and the like leaks. So leaks, there has been like someone's taken a photo at like an upcoming Comic-Con or something, and they've taken a picture of what looks to be Savaja Press as a hot toy. but it is a very bad quality photo. But you can clearly see it is it's Savage as a hot
It's a
toy.
bright yellow face, and he's got horns and
Yeah.
black stripes. You know it's Savage.
You know
but
it's Savage, and
Yeah.
they haven't done one, so
I think we'll wait until we've got like official pictures,
Yeah.
and then we'll show you guys. But
yeah, because it's like
you can find it online anyway, the like blurry pictures.
but you can clearly tell
It'll
it's
be
Savage, so that is an upcoming hot toy to keep an eye out for. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
We also have some rumors for some Lego sets
Yeah.
for next year,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm quite excited for, if these are true.
Mm-hmm.
So there is lots of rumors that most of the sets next year, and I'm not surprised, are going to be Revenge of the Sith or prequels related.
Which is what we guessed.
Yeah, because obviously it's 20 years of, so apparently, yes. So obviously we know of the Arc 170 with, I think it's like Oddball and like Captain Jabba or something. I can't remember his name.
That's cool.
So we know that one's coming. We know the mid-scale. Is it mid-scale or mini? Yeah, mid-scale acclimator is coming. I want that one because I'm definitely
it goes
getting
with the Vena and
it's the acclimator. It's one of the best suits. So we know that one's coming. There is a leak or rumor that there's going to be either a wolf pack or Kashyyyk troopers battle pack. So you know how this year we had the Coruscant Guard battle pack, which had like three Coruscant Guard, like two Coruscant Guards,
and like that
2 regs. Yeah. There's supposedly one of those coming next year, and I really hope it's Wolfpack. That is, I think, the one clone unit that we don't have a minifig of, because the old ones are like so much money, like it's stupid. And I think the new look as well on the Lego things would look really good with the like wolf painting, and hopefully we get a Commander Wolf as well to go with the others, which would be awesome.
That'd be cool. Because we currently have Captain Rex, obviously. We have Commander Cody, Captain Vaughn, and Commander Fox.
Yeah. So but you want Wolf because he is like another one of the main guys, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people will be hoping that it's Wolfpack instead of Kashyyyk 41st, but we don't know. It's again rumors, but that is a set I'm really looking forward to. I think there's also a Plo Koon Jedi Starfighter, which is also leaked or rumored.
That would be cool.
Comes with like a Plo Koon, so that one might even come with a Captain Wolf. It's like a figure. So we'll have to see about these. Now here is leaks that we have a photo of. There's only one, but it's Skeleton Crew Funko Pops. So we have Jod, we have Wim, we have Fern, we have KB, and we have Little Neil. I'm going to be very honest. I think they look all right. They look like what you would expect from the Funkos. Yeah, they don't really. They don't give anything away, these ones, but it's not one at the minute where I'm like, I want to get Neil or I want to get Fern. I haven't seen. We don't know what the show is about. We don't know what the characters are like. I mean, Jod's quite cool because he's almost got like a hood, sort of.
He looks like he's out of Dune.
He does actually. That's quite funny.
That's what I thought when I saw it. But
no, that's a good.
I think they look really good, and like going by what we've seen in the trailer of the characters, they look so close in likeness to them. Like especially Neil, he looks really good as a Funko.
I will say I do like the boxes, and I like the colouring on the boxes. The like the blue and like the little gold outline at the top, and I mean, I don't know. Again, these are like they're not the official released ones, but like you can clearly tell that this is what they're going to look like.
Yeah.
I don't
really
know if
like
they're going to
them.
announce any more. Like they might announce one of the pirates or the droid, because the
Mm.
droid, I can't remember his name.
I mean, usually they release about 6 of them each, like set, don't they?
Yeah, well
But
they do like waves, don't they? So you sometimes do like um, wave 1 and wave 2. But you know, I think they're again.
I think they're
They're
really cool, and I mean, once we start watching the series, I feel like we might get to like some of these characters. We may end up with some, but
Yeah, you might get a Neil or
we
something.
don't know yet because we don't know what the characters are like.
Yes.
But they do look really cool, and they've got the likeness of the actors and um,
And Neil looks,
everyone
you know, very good.
really well.
So maybe I think if we do get one, it might be like Neil.
Mm.
Maybe we get like a Max Rebo to go with him.
Well, you really wanted the Max Rebo.
I did.
So
I did want a Max Rebo, but
you might have to go on your Christmas list, the Max Rebo.
but yeah. So
Very
those
cool.
those are those ones. That's basically it. Well, that's it in terms of like news reveals. But yeah, there might be more by the time we do our next episode. So getting on to today's episode, we have Creatures in Star Wars Games 2. But again, it's basically Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order. So you can start us off with this wonderful looking creature.
I know. It does look a bit weird. Like, I don't really like the look of this one, but he's called a Yotaz.
Yeah.
It's spelled like Jotaz, but the way it's pronounced is Yotaz. So they're very large reptilian species. They lurk around Zepho in like sort of caves, caverns, that sort of thing. Zepho is the planet on Fallen Order, where there's that like ancient species there. It's like snowy, isn't it? The snowy one.
No, I don't think no, because that's Ilum that I
Oh, okay. I'm getting them mixed up.
which is
There's
the
so many.
future Starkiller base.
Wow. So these Yotas are highly aggressive. They're predators, and they have a thick hide that acts as like an armor sort of defense for them. So they can't really. They take a lot of like hits to them to defeat them in the game. But they do have like weak spots, sort of on their abdomen, so they can easily be killed by a Jedi, with a lightsaber. But you know, they are in the wild quite hard to kill, and are probably quite near the top of the food chain on that planet, I would assume. But yeah, there's not really much information about those ones.
I do know that there is also so here we have a rabid Yotaz. I think there's only like one of them, because you come across, it's one of these ones that I think is considered like one of the legendary creatures that you have to defeat. But I think there's only one of them, so apparently it's like it got rabid, it got stronger, it got more harder to defeat. And here it is with his arm chopped off. Sorry to say, mate, but
Yeah.
No. Again, I remember coming up against them in the game. I didn't like them. They were brutal.
Yeah. I mean, I got to the point where I just run past them. I just run past all the big ones. I'm like, no, can't be bothered.
Can't be bothered to fight that one.
Because whenever you save, then they respawn.
I know.
So yeah, after these monsters, I just run past them in the game. But I'm probably not gonna get any achievements from that.
It's okay. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I get all of those. So here we have a wonderful looking creature by the name of Ogdo. This is you can find these on the home world of Bogano. So this is like one of those maps where there isn't like too much exploring, but it's like a lot of weird like creatures there.
Mhm.
So you've got these Ogdos that are like a frog-looking species.
Mhm.
They are the alpha predators on Bogano. So like on the top of the food chain, there's like they're kings.
Mhm.
And they use their adhesive tongue
Mm.
to basically attack their prey.
Yep.
So obviously, like I said, it's adhesive, so it's all sticky.
Mm.
So it can either like hit them
Mm.
and hurt them, or for like larger ones, it can like stick to them and then bring them into like their mouth, and then obviously kill them and eat them with their like large teeth.
Mhm. They do
Um,
have very big teeth.
They have thick, lightsaber resistant hind,
Okay.
making them very difficult
Mhm.
and challenging.
Yeah. So again,
Um,
it's that armored sort of
yeah, it's
skin on them.
like almost like an evolutionary defensive mechanism.
Mm.
Like you can't get too close to them, or like they're dangerous. Like you got to be
Mhm.
quick, and they're quite agile as well. Like they move around
Mhm.
like a bit.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, eventually you can kill them, but they take a lot of hits.
yeah, and their tongues, they can like fire it out to like up to 8 meters away. So
Wow.
like you know you got to be with your senses. I mean, I wouldn't want to come up against one of these things in real life. Look at them.
No.
Like
As soon as I saw them in the game, I was like, "What is that?"
it's just a massive evil like frog.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like you, I don't
And they
want
got
anything to
3
do.
eyes as well,
Yes,
so they probably got very good vision, so you can't run away from them.
but this isn't the only Ogdo
Mhm.
on Bogano. There is a stronger one.
Even
This is,
bigger one.
this is Ogdo Bogdo. I know, great name. So these Ogdo Bogdos are larger than the normal Ogdo.
Mhm.
They're also more deadly.
Mhm.
So they're like more aggressive. Their movements are more like they bounce around sort of the environment more.
Mm.
They're just more dangerous. If you thought coming up against like Ogdo was bad, like you don't want to come up against Ogdo Bogdo.
No.
Again,
I'd
really
just run
hard in the
away from it.
game. Again, I think this is like one of those legendary like creatures in
Mm.
the game that you come up against, and that.
Mm.
Um, yeah. Now there is basically one of these in uh, Jedi Survivor.
Mhm.
Um, it is called the Spawn of Ogdo Bogdo. Well, it's called the Spawn of Ogdo, but it is basically believed to be the offspring of Ogdo Bogdo
Mm.
because it is like
A big one.
very dangerous, very hard to beat in the game as well.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, there's like not much on it. This is on Cobol on
Mhm.
in Jedi Survivor. Like you come across it in a raiders sort of camp.
Mhm.
Very cool though.
So they're
But
not only on Bogano.
wow, the Ogdos and Ogdo Bogdos
Mhm.
are like the home world is Bogano,
Mhm.
but this is obviously clearly
Like a
shows
different
that
one.
like they have been taken.
Mm.
Like there is also one that
I mean, he has different eyes and different skin, so I guess they sort of evolve.
yeah, it's obviously it's a different one as well, but it's
Mm.
the Haxian Brood sort of clan
Mhm.
also had an Ogdo in their sort of gladiator arena, which Cal has to go up against in the games.
Mhm.
So clearly they are taken off world and that. So what's to say that an Ogdo Bogdo went got taken to the Kobo and have this monstrosity.
I definitely wouldn't want to come across that.
No. And I wouldn't want to come across this either.
No, definitely not. So this one is called a Goroko. It's from Jedi Survivor, this one. So it's a named creature native to the planet of Kobo.
Kobo.
It has a pair of tusks.
Yeah.
They usually have like yellowy orange skin and then like a black mane. They're very large creatures and approximately 1.82 meters in height. So
Quite tall.
yeah, nearly 2 meters high, basically. They are territorial and defensive, and they're like a pack species, so kind of similar to like wolves and stuff, where they have packs. They are known for being powerful and fast creatures, so these can travel quite fast. Again, it looks like they have very thick skin. I think in the game their attacks do cause quite a bit of damage.
I think they're very ground and pound, like sort of like hit down on you.
I mean, they kind of remind me of like a sort of mammoth crossed with like a reptilian creature,
Gorilla,
and like a ape, yeah. But because they got the tusks and like the mane and that, and they're very like muscly. But yeah, again, there's not much information on those either. But I definitely wouldn't want to come across one.
No.
And I feel like their skin looks really like, I don't know, not
looks
great.
very hard skin.
Yeah.
But then they've also got like a really nice mullet.
Yeah.
As if like they'd just come out of the 80s.
Yeah. I'm sure some people would be jealous of their hair. But yeah, that's those ones. They're
what about the matriarchs?
Juroko.
You got anything on those?
What's that?
The Juroko matriarchs?
No.
Do we not?
No.
I thought you had one. I thought you did that one, so not bad.
No.
Yes, there is a matriarch version of these ones as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't see those in my research, so I wasn't sure.
No, that's fine. I might be wrong. So this is a mogu. Not the drink. As
Again, it looks very gorilla, but also like mammoth.
It's very wampa, isn't it?
Yeah.
So basically, they are actually related to the wampas.
Mm-hmm.
So they are related, but they're like considered like cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the sort of how related they are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like a wampa is basically a cousin of this one.
Mm-hmm.
So they the homeworld of Kobo again. This one's from Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
They are highly violent predators. So they prefer to stalk their prey and then aggressively attack it. So instead of just like killing it because they have to, they will be like jump out, stalk it and then jump out and be like, they have, razor sharp claws.
I was gonna say
good strength as well, so they can either like slash or they can like chuck you to the ground or like stomp. They're very powerful. Yeah,
it's like if King Kong was in Star Wars.
You can also like Luke Skywalker in Empire. If it sort of grabs you, you can chop its arm off. But it still goes after you like a crazed thing. It doesn't stop. Yeah, very cool. This is very like ape-like, isn't it? Very like Yeti, sort of Bigfoot.
Yeah. I mean, like you say, it is like a Wampa, but like a brown version of it, almost like a polar bear and a brown bear. Like,
Yeah, it's a bit like when we were doing the one last time with Banthas and the ones on Kajimi.
Yeah.
Like they look almost the same, but they're
Mm.
different.
Yeah.
Um,
Different climate.
Their thick fur is also great camouflage in the like forests and of Copal. So yeah, they're like.
I guess it's similar to like Ewoks and um, Wookiees on Kashyyyk. Like they have that sort of hair all over them, which disguises them in like mud and long grass and the trees. So
Yeah, I also remember playing the game and I always used to call them Wampa Maximus
yeah.
because they're just so much bigger than a Wampa, but
Yeah.
they're huge. And I remember the first time I come across one, it was just like jumped and I was like, "Oh, here we go! This looks cool."
Yeah.
But yeah, again with these creatures, there's not loads and loads of detail, but they are quite cool and really good introductions into Star Wars. I thought.
Yeah. So these ones are just they're from Jedi Survivor.
Yeah. So this is the Mere Terror. So this one is basically like it's a one-off. It's not like another version of them, but this is a Mogu who basically is like so much bigger than the other ones, and like look at the horns on it, and like yeah, it's basically just a bigger one that survived. So it's a one-off case, this one. But I thought I would show it because it's
worth mentioning.
It's connected to the Mogu, and it's called the Mere Terror. And you come across it in the game. But you also, as you can see here, when you come across it, you also have to fight a normal Mogu as well.
Yeah.
So you have to take on both of them.
Wow.
But yeah, he's crazy.
Fabulous. So this is one that we missed in our Star Wars Outlaws creature breakdown.
Well, it's a weird one because like you don't actually see them in person.
No,
in the game.
You just bet on them for the races.
Yes, so you bet on them through the races, and you see like the hologram versions of them, but you don't actually see them in the game. But they are a big part of the creature in Star Wars.
But they are most well known for The Last Jedi, which is what this picture is from. But they're really cool little animals. Well, not the little, they're massive, but I think they're really cool, and they're probably one of my favorite creatures in the whole of Star Wars, just because of how cute they are and
yeah,
like,
and the ones in the
line.
barn in the like in the stables, like all of these ones were like CGI, not CGI, animatronics. So they were like real. They were real ones, not like CGI. I think the ones like later in the film when they're running through the fields and they are obviously CGI, but these ones are quite cool, and you can see as well that they look quite realistic and
they're really good.
And horsey.
Yeah. Essentially they are like Star Wars horses. So there you go. So they're called Fathiers. They're from Katonika, which is a desert planet, which is home of the casino city Canto Bice. So the place we talked about last week, which have those like bougie cocktail drinks, and they do all the races. These are the animals that are doing the races. So they're distinguished by their long legs and big ears, as you can tell. Got massive ears.
They got big ears.
But their ears actually have a purpose. So it's supposed to dissipate body heat. So I'm guessing sort of as they're running, they get very warm, and then their ears help them like cool down. which I think was quite interesting.
Hmm.
They can run up to 75 kilometers per hour, so it's quite fast.
That's very fun.
And their speed made them a sought after animal by the wealthy people in the galaxy. So, again, wealthy people just wanting to capture these cute little things. And they're so sweet. They were looked at as majestic and graceful, very similar to a horse, really. Like, just an animal that just gallops along, and you're just like, wow, look at that. Especially because they're like massive as well. It's like, wow, look at that. They stood 3 meters high at the shoulder, so from their shoulder to their feet, they're 3 meters high, and then their head is an extra, probably like half a meter.
Yeah, so big.
Because they're massive. Which I thought was quite interesting, because like it's hard to sort of grasp how tall they are, but yeah, when you think 3 meters high is quite a lot.
Very.
And that's only to the shoulder. They could also be domesticated, so obviously in the races they were mounted and used for the competitions. The inhabitants of Katanika exploited them in the races on Canto bites, which the animals suffered abuse. So they didn't really. I don't really know what they were doing, but I think
it was like electrocuting them and
prying them. I think it was. It's almost like when people race horses and then they're bringing them. Yeah, they're whipping them. They're bringing them to like way more than what they should be running, sort of thing. Tiring them out and not treating them well and bribing them with food to do things for them and all that. But obviously, we find out in The Last Jedi that Rose lets them all free and she's like, go! And I loved that scene because I was like, yay, they're free. And because they're so cute. And I mean, I'm a big animal lover, so yeah.
But they caused havoc in the casino.
Any animal, yeah. That was quite fun to watch, actually. I think that was like the funniest scene in The Last Jedi, them running. But yeah, I love these. They're obviously known from The Last Jedi, but they're first mentioned in the novel Aftermath, Empire's End. So
which I have up there.
Yeah. So that was their first mention, but they were created for the storyline of The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But I think the book came out before the film, so I thought I'd just mention that in case any of you have read the book or didn't know. So yeah. I love them though, and
they're very cute.
I definitely wanted to talk about them because I feel bad for missing them from Outlaws. But obviously in Outlaws, you can't like.
You don't actively see them. You just see them as like you just see them through like a hologram.
Yeah.
But
you put a bet on one, and then
I don't know credits.
You see them there. See them there running, and then you're like, oh, I lost.
Or you do a rigged one and find out who the winner is, and
then you get more credits.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do love them though.
Very
They're
cute.
very cute.
So this one is from Fallen Order and from my favourite planet, Kashyyyk. So this is the Shio bird. One thing I will quickly mention about the wildlife of Kashyyyk, their names are just as crazy as the 3 Ys in the name. So just going to go back to some, or just going to mention some. So we've got Y shocks, which are the spiders, the massive spiders. So they are spelt Wyyyschokk. We have sligs, SYLGS. We have Sava, which is like a sort of a plant, like a carnivorous plant, I believe. SAVVA. And then we have the Shio bird, this one, which is SHYYYO bird. So, just like the wildlife, or just like the planet, these creatures tend to have
Crazy names.
YYY in their name.
Oh, why?
Very fun. So, as I just mentioned, this is from the homeworld. Its homeworld is Kashyyyk. They are sightings of these creatures are very rare. The Wookiees consider them like seeing one, like good luck.
Oh.
So, you know, like if you were to see a thing, be like, oh, good luck. Like you're getting good luck, good omen.
Aww.
And apparently their feathers are considered lucky as well. So if you were to, I mean, they're huge. They are massive. So they're also sort of considered by the Wookiees as a like protector of the trees, the Shiruk trees and all that. Basically, the reason why is because their diet is made up of sligs and rye-shooks, which are basically like the slugs and the spiders. So they eat the slugs and the spiders, which help keep the trees like nice and free. So the Wookiees, you know, they love these. Due to their body shape and feathers, they're capable of gliding significant distances without using lots of energy. Like they use very little energy to like glide, which means for them they hardly leave their nest. So they will basically hunt once a week on Y-shooks and sligs. So they don't really have to leave their nest. So that's why, you know, also the sightings of them are so rare because they don't need to go anywhere really. But they are very cool and majestic.
Yeah. I do like this one.
Do you know what it reminds me of a bit? Like the whole concept of this bird and all that.
Like a Pokemon.
Like a Ho-Oh.
Yeah.
From Pokemon. Like seeing it is like, oh, lucky and like they're very rare. So, yeah.
I really like that one.
Shio bird.
Isn't there like a scene where it's like injured and then Cal heals it and then he rides on?
Yes. So it is in the bit in Fallen Order where like you climb to the sort of part of the tree where it is. I think you pull out something that was hurting it, flies off. You then, I believe, have a battle, I think, with the Ninth Sister, and then it can take you to the top of the tree.
Yeah.
And it has like a little fly about that. But very cool.
Yeah.
And Carol was very lucky as well.
Again, it's a very majestic, like, oh, look at that creature.
Yeah. It's a bit like Lugia.
It's kind of like an eagle, like bird. But yeah, very sort of Pokemon-like, I think. So this one is called a Chirodactyl, but this one in particular is called Gagara. So she was like a well-known one. So they are known as Dathomirian bats because they're native to Dathomir. I mean, the technical term is Chirodactyl, but yeah, their nickname is Dathomirian bats because they look like a bat.
It is a bat.
Dathomir, yeah.
That is a bat.
They are. But they're also massive. They are winged carnivorous creatures. There's basically this thing where the strongest Night Brothers, so the Night Brothers like Darth Maul, Savage, like the people with the markings and that, all definite. They were tested in a rite of passage to enter the Chirodactyl territory and come out alive. So I didn't realise that. So the Chirodactyls, they live in caves and gloomy canyons and areas that are difficult to access at altitudes that it was foolish to attempt to reach. So I think it was probably a rarity that these Night Brothers would end up coming out alive. They have a very wide wingspan, up to several dozen meters.
Bloody hell.
Apparently, which isn't a very accurate reading, in my opinion, but that's what the article said that I read. They have enormous talons, and their eyes are like kind of white, so it appears to be blind, but I think it's just because they're like nocturnal sort of animals.
Yep.
But I think it would trick someone to be like, oh, that creature is blind, I can sneak past it. But no, they can see very well. They have big teeth and heads that are reminiscent of an owl. So
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, sort of owl.
But I can also see with a bat head as well. Like it's just a massive
more
bat.
Of a bat. But also their wings are so big, it's almost like a dinosaur, like a pterodactyl. But maybe that's why they're called chirodactyls. But
I think I remember this one caused me a bit of trouble in the game.
Yeah.
It took me a while to.
I think also because they're flying, it adds another problem.
Yep.
Because they can just fly instead of like just staying there. I don't know. I think they're quite hard to defeat, but obviously in the game, Cal manages to defeat it, and yeah. So this Gogara, she was no more after Cal was done.
No.
But yeah, I think they were probably very hard to defeat, and probably a lot of Night Brothers lost their lives due to these creatures. But yeah.
Okay.
They are still cool, but I think I definitely wouldn't want to encounter one. They look really scary. And they're massive.
Yeah. Huge.
I feel like this is a common thing with this episode. Just all these creatures are massive.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
Hard to defeat.
Apart from Fabius and
yes.
Shio.
We had two really nice ones, and the rest of them are just hard to defeat, and they're just nightmares.
Yeah.
Nightmare fuel.
So, Troopers of the Week.
Yes.
We have basically it's one, but like it's two, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
one of them is our good friend as well.
Yes. So, Alpine Vader, who we've had on before as a special guest. Very cool guy. Check him out if you haven't already. He's on Instagram. He's got a really cool Revenge of the Sith Vader cosplay. He put up a post saying that a follower reached out to him with advice to like how he could join the 501st garrison as an Empire Strikes Back Vader. And Alpine helped him with his cosplay, and they did a really cool little meetup at a Comic-Con. It was Fan X Comic-Con.
Okay.
But yeah, they look really cool together, so I thought I'd give them a shout out. So this one is Alpine Vader, who we've had on the show before. He's Revenge of the Sith. And then this one is Empire Strikes Back Vader. And he goes by the name Henry Lifts Heavy Objects.
Very
so
cool.
I think he's kind of like a bodybuilder sort of guy. But to be Vader, like I imagine there's a lot of sort of gym work that you have to do.
Probably.
But very cool, and it's really cool that they managed to actually meet up in person and troop together as Vaders. So yeah, I thought I'd give them a shout out.
Yeah.
So Henry lifts heavy objects and alpine.
Yeah. So
Definitely check them out because they both have such cool cosplays, and
very cool.
you know,
and Alpine's a friend of the podcast, so you know.
Yeah.
You could definitely go check him out. Meme of the week.
Mm-hmm. It's quite a funny one.
So I believe this is someone found this somewhere, and it is it's a Star Wars like fun figure, and it's a picture of Queen Amidala, but the face is Freddie Mercury.
It just says Queen.
It just says Queen, but the figure actually has like Freddie's face on it.
I love it. We need to zoom into this. It doesn't really look like Freddie Mercury, but the whole idea and how it's like Queen. It's funny.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh, what happened?
We lost him there. Yeah, that's
very
cool.
Love it.
So I know it's not really meme of the week, but it is sort of like
sort of a meme. Yeah. It's funny.
So that wraps it up for this week's episode. We hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Learned some stuff about some creatures that you might have come across in the games.
And there's lots more creatures that we could talk about as well. Like, I mean, there's so many you mentioned from Kashyyyk, but there's more on Dathomir. There's more on Zepho. There's
Pagano.
There's so many creatures that we could be here all day talking about.
And we could do other games as well, you know.
Yes.
So
yeah. I mean, I know we've spoken of like rankles and stuff from like, I know they're in like Force Unleashed and stuff, but we can always do another one of these in the future, like a creatures and Star Wars games thing, because there's so many Star Wars games and so many creatures, and it's too much to fit in a couple of episodes.
That's very true. That is very true.
Maybe we'll be back in the future with another creatures episode. But we try and like break it up a bit so it's not the same every week for you guys.
Yeah, something a bit different. You know, we don't want you to be like, oh, he's talking about food again. Like, we don't want that.
No.
But yes, that is going to be it for this week. There isn't going to be an episode next week because we aren't around. So yeah.
Is it next week or the week after?
Next week, isn't it? Because it's my birthday next week.
Okay.
But yeah, so we'll be back like the following week, but we'll still be on like our socials and that.
Yes.
So get in touch with us, get involved, and yes.
Well, we always put on our story on our Instagram whenever our episode will be. So, just keep an eye on our Instagram, and then if you see a story by us, it'll probably be our episodes today or tomorrow. So we'll let you guys know whenever it is. It's usually on a Thursday, but if we are busy on a Thursday, then we change it about. But
yes,
and also let you guys know.
And also check out our Instagram because in the next couple of days our new Funkos are going to be on there.
I'll take some pictures.
Yes.
So you guys can see them.
But yeah, may the force be with you guys and have a